We have our special guest here, Kristin Chenoweth.
Yes!
Now, why do I have so much trouble with your name? Because the mouth has to do with a few things.
Yes.
Kristin Chenoweth.
I think the instinct is sick Chenoweth too.
Oh, really?
Right?
I think, and Chenoweths, I've heard.
Chenoweth?
Yeah, but you coined the best one, Chenoweth.
You better Chenoweth, girl.
Yes!
Are you from Norman, Oklahoma?
My parents live in Norman.
Oh, they live in Norman.
Yes, I'm from a town called Broken Arrow, but they've retired in Norman, which is OU territory.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe that you know Norman.
Broken Arrow, how poetic is that?
You can't write it.
No, that's beautiful. Broken Arrow. Now, are you an only child?
I feel like one, though I do have an older brother, and we were close, and we are, but he's 5 years older than me, so he feels more like a parent. He lives in Colorado and chemical engineer. I was adopted, so I'm kind of like the only one in my family that's like me.
Yeah.
But they love me. They
Sure.
love me. But
Yes.
they don't
So is your brother biological?
He's biological.
Oh, interesting.
And my mom had to have a full-on hysterectomy when she was 24.
24 years old.
Yeah, and so back then, you imagine not knowing about hormones and all that stuff. So she's been through it. But
Sure.
She's a strong one.
Yeah. And at what point in your life did they realize, oh my God, this kid's got some talent?
According to them, I had a record player, but way back when, and I was playing the Wizard of Oz record, and I was singing with Judy Garland, and they were in the living room. Both of my parents my dad's owned a company and chemical engineer based and all that, and they looked at each other and they said, "Is it us, or does she sound real good?" And they didn't know how to help me because they're not musicians, and nor should they ever sing, by the way. Never. They keep that song way down deep. But they mentored me and helped me get piano lessons and ballet, so I'm thankful for that.
How amazing that years later you'd become so synonymous with the show Wicked.
I can't believe. Can you believe that?
I can.
That's a full circle moment right
Yes,
there.
it is.
You're right. Thank you for bringing that. Oz has been a theme in my life. And not to get weird, but, we go on tours, we do and perform, and Australia was one of my favorite places I did a 5-city tour there, and probably one of my most favorite places in the world was the Sydney Opera House. So I thought, how funny that I'm at Oz. And then that was the first time it hit me. And now you're saying it. It's just, full circle.
Well, I think if you have clarity in your life and you're open, your channels are open, those kinds of things become so apparent. And you have to pay attention to those things. If you have a spiritual practice, it absolutely helps open those channels. Do you have a spiritual practice?
First of all, everything you're saying, amen. That's the way I feel. I want to say this too. When I was having great, kind of bigger moments in my career, and I still have them along the way, but I'm now going, thank you. My spiritual practice is the Lord, God. But I also am a believer that many people have many things that work for them. Mine is God. So in the moments now that are happening, I'm able to go, I don't know if it's from just getting injured one time and waking up or what, but I'm going, this is a moment, Kristin. Like this experience here. I wanted to come to do the show for a long time, and now I'm having the moment. I'm having experience. And now I'm able to live in those moments. Whereas before in the past, I'd be like, what's next? What's next? And now I'm just pausing.
Yeah. Well, that's so brilliant. I'm sure you've met Dolly Parton, but I don't know who's helping you guide your career, but you have to tell them immediately that right now is the time for you to play not the whole Dolly Parton story, but a very specific point in Dolly's life that it's a touchstone in her life, and it would probably be the moment where in her book she talks about having women's problems, and that's when she became very thin.
Yes.
And I think maybe there.
I think that's such a great suggestion, because do you know that my obsession? I have had an obsession with her. She has been very kind to me. I wrote a song about her, What Would Dolly Do, WWWD, and I thought you might like that. But she has been a mentor to me, and also one that tends to lead with her truth and is an entertainer in our business, a woman who owns her own stuff. I don't mean to talk that way, but she's never sold anything of hers. It's hers, which is why Whitney Houston, who we love having that big barn burner with I Will Always Love You, but whose was it really? Originally.
Yeah.
So to your point, my dream role, and she has said in the past, on David Letterman and at different shows, that she would and could see me playing her. And I would love what you suggest, because now at this point, I would love to investigate it has to be a certain part of her
Yeah,
life, right?
she's had such a huge career.
Big life.
It would be, just to pinpoint a specific time, because I think there was a lot of turmoil at that point in her life, and she made some real changes, and that would be the time to do it.
You're right. You're right, because we all view Dolly as having a perfect life and nothing's ever wrong, right?
Right.
But I don't care who you are. You have that.
Absolutely.
I've seen her in concert so many times. I swear, if I had a red Solo cup, I always say about her, and it was full of poison, she has me believe in anything. If she said, "Y'all drink that poison," I'd drink it. You know what I'm talking about, wouldn't you?
She has that power.
She really does.
Yeah.
She really does. Now, so, you've been in the game for a long time. You've been famous for a long time. What things have you not done that you'd really love to do?
Oh my gosh, what a great question.
Because you're an actress, you're a singer.
She had her own sitcom?
Sitcom. It's you've done it all, and you still have so much more to do.
I guess I sort of look at people in our business that I admire and what they've done. And one of the things I'd like to move into, and I'm here and I'm watching you also, RuPaul, produce the show. People think that things just happen, right? But just overnight happen. I've been producing my own concerts for a while.
Yeah.
But now I'd like to be a producer in a little bit bigger way.
Sure.
Sort of what you're doing. So I'm moving into an interesting time and considering those things, which are in front of me now. And I want to continue to be a mentor. I want to move in that direction, though I'll die on stage. So, but you hear what I'm saying.
Amen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'll produce.
So how long were you in Broken Arrow? How long did you stay there before you moved to New York, I'm assuming?
I stayed there till college, and my dad said, "I don't care where you go, but I really want you to get a college education." And he said, "We'll even go to New York and audition for Juilliard." But I went to Oklahoma City University because I found the teacher there. Her name is Florence Birdwell. She reminds me of a Barbara Cook type. We were just talking about her, Michelle.
God bless her, yeah.
I just miss her so much. But anyway, I went to OCU, and then I was to go to opera school in Philadelphia up on graduate school in opera. And I went to New York with my best friend, Denny, who's my best friend to this day. And we went to an audition for fun, and I got a part.
Wow.
And I had a decision to make. And I prayed about it. I did. And I didn't have an agent. And they called my dad because I left that number.
In the opera. Was this for an opera?
No, this
or
was
what
for
it
a show called Animal Crackers, the Marx Brothers musical.
Yeah.
And
That was one with Marilyn Monroe in the movie, wasn't it?
Was she in the movie?
I think she was in the movie, and that would be the part I did. Of course, I was real young, and I tapped and sang my butt off. But talk about sing for your life.
Yeah.
Lip sync for, that's what I did. But that's kind of how it changed for me. And I still continue to train and do operatic roles and songs, but it's been good for me.
Yeah, so you got this part in New York. So you left the Philly school and you moved to New York. Who was there to say, okay, we're going to get you an apartment here, stay away from those people, come over here, do that, do this?
The people that I was in the show with, because I didn't even get to go to Philly because I went from Oklahoma. I didn't even make it.
Oh, okay.
I just went from Oklahoma, didn't go to Philadelphia because I got this part and I had a decision to make. And they only take 6 people a year at that school. And Beverly Sills would have been one of my mentors.
Wow.
So I was really turning down something
Yeah.
kind of big in my life, but I looked at it as not turning it down.
Sure.
I went to New York. The people in the show of Animal Crackers would say, "Don't take the subway past this hour. Don't get off here."
Because you were just a little country girl.
Oh, I thought everybody was. I was like saying hi down the street in New York. Hi, y'all. And people are like, "Fuck you." Excuse me. And I just was like, "I'll have that potato niche," and it's a knish. I just learned so many things.
You're so cute.
But I didn't know.
Sure. Yeah.
And they taught me, the people in the show. And that's why, P.S., show folk are the best.
Yeah.
And we are a family, and there's dysfunction in all of them,
Sure.
as we know, but they're family.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to be crude here, but what year was this
It
about?
was not crude.
We're the
Last
same age.
year. It was
last year?
I've done so much in my year. No, it was 19. I graduated and got my master's degree, and I believe it's 93
You got a master's.
in opera.
Really?
What
a
does one
master's
do
degree?
with a master's in opera?
They then either go to school in Philadelphia at the Academy of Vocal Arts, or they move to Europe. And they learn all the languages, meaning German, Italian, French. And they just do that. And they wait. And they get ready. And then they hit their peak about 32, 35. and then they last for, I'm just speaking truthfully.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And then about 50, 51, especially sopranos,
Yeah.
have to start looking at, unless you're Renee Fleming and your voice just never wears out and it's
Right.
always amazing.
Right.
Do you make, and this is rude and crude, but
No,
do you make a
bring
good
it.
living in the opera?
Oh, you can, well, certainly if you're a star.
Right. If
Or
the
if you're a
diva.
Met player or a New York City opera player or a Denver opera, you know, all of these fantastic opera companies.
It's like a
that we-
ballerina getting in with a company.
Correct.
Okay.
That's what like, unless you're a star, then of course your price goes up.
Okay.
Right, right.
Just like business.
So around 93 was Animal Crackers.
Yeah.
And then how many years until Wicked came along?
Gosh.
But you won a Tony before Wicked. You won a Tony for the Apple Tree, did you win?
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
wow.
Yes. You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Which I can't believe. And when you know you've made it is when you go back to Oklahoma City to talk to your college and you go to the gay bar Angles and someone is doing Sally Brown.
Oh.
You as Sally Brown. Then you go, well, I have,
Yes.
at least I've made it statewide.
Yes.
But
yes.
I think the first big thing was, well, it's hard, depends on what you look as big.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Charlie
Broadway
Brown was
show is
99 and then Wicked was 2003 and then
Uh-huh.
just continue. But my first off-Broadway thing was the Fantastics at the original Sullivan Street Theater, which was bug-infested.
Much more. Oh,
I love you, Michelle.
love you too.
You know we're new best friends.
Yes, I do. I
I'm not to
certainly
steal
do.
anybody's best friend.
No, no, no.
Ah, we will share. Trust me.
There's unlimited love in the universe.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Right.
That's right.
That's right.
And that ran forever off
The,
Broadway.
yeah, the
Yes, it did.
Fantastics.
Yes.
So it was a bug-infested theater down at Sullivan. Is that what you
Yes,
said?
and I was constantly sick, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, it was a filthy mess, but
Yeah.
that had been running, what, 45 years?
Yes.
Jerry Orbach, the original El Gallo.
Wow.
And there I was, the girl, I think, for 3 months until somebody had an audition and did a show called Little Me with Charles Busch.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't believe. See, this is just memory lane for me.
Yeah.
And then No Brain, and then
And Little Me is the Dennis Patrick. Dennis, is it Patrick?
That's it.
Dennis yeah, yeah. Which who wrote Mame, and Little Me was his I think follow-up.
It's a really cute show too, Little Me. You
it
know.
is. It's not one celebrated enough, I don't think.
There's a lot of those. Rue and I actually we've talked about that. How I know Encores does it for a short run and brings. There should be a theater just dedicated to the shows that nobody does.
I think Roundabout is
Yes,
kind
Roundabout.
of moving into
Yeah.
that. I
Yes.
did On the 20th Century and Apple Tree for them. But I agree with you because it's dying and we want these young people. I'll sing something in my concert from Little Me or even Cabaret.
Yay!
I did on Glee or whatever, and people go, "Whoa, did they write that for you?" And I just, after I have a heart attack,
Yeah.
pick my teeth up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
they only
I-
know Cabaret. They don't know Mine Hair. They don't know the most important moments in the show. They don't know.
They don't- it doesn't compute. But I'm looking at it as I'm going to tell them.
Well, no, that is your role. You know, people mentored you and curated for you, and that's your role as an artist to help these young people. You know, they have the smartphones and everything, but it's up to people they trust to be able to tell them, okay, go there, turn left there,
Yeah.
and look at this over here.
They ain't gonna
That's what
Google
I'm doing.
themselves.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Took me a while to get there just because I didn't feel, well, I shouldn't do that yet. But
Right.
no, as we go along in this journey, we should be telling our friends, even people older than us, listen what I learned. Debra Monk is one of my best friends.
Wow.
You know, I say to her, you know what I think? And I'll tell her about her. And she'll tell me it's just a very cool place to be at in life.
Debra Monk is a great actress. She's done so many great
We were
roles.
just talking about Steel Pier, weren't we?
I told Michelle that she needed to learn Everybody's Girl from Steel Pier, Cantor Nebb, which I was there when Cantor Nebb were writing the score.
Were you
Really?
Yeah, because I played Precious and All About Eve and an operetta part, and they wrote it with her, and they wrote for me, and it's one of those moments in your career. I was having my Broadway debut in a musical, Cantor Nebb right in front of me, and balconies are empty, and I didn't understand.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's all part of the learning.
Right. Now, we're talking about Debra Monk, the actress,
Yes,
the actress
yes.
who plays the mother in Damages, and she does all those. So she's also a singer. See, you're educating me.
Oh my gosh, you have to get Steel Pier and listen to her sing.
Steel Pier's a great
She's
musical.
won a
didn't know
Tony
that.
for writing a show.
What?
Yes.
I know her as the great character actress in movies and on television.
She's
Great
incredible.
Broadway actress.
She's
too.
incredible.
I had
Singer,
no idea.
I
Debra
can't-
Monk.
I'm embarrassed that I can't recall the name of the show that she wrote for the Tony all those years ago. But this is a real singer.
Yeah.
You'd love
yeah.
Everybody's
Dane.
Girl too.
Oh, You are everybody's girl.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And so are you.
You
By
are.
the way, both of you are.
That means we're both whores. That's what
Okay,
that means.
all right. That's what I thought.
in the
actually.
nicest way.
That's what I thought. Now, we're going to go to break real quick, but before we go to break, I want you to talk about your latest album, which is just magnificent. Tell everybody the name of it.
It's The Art of Elegance, and it is a standards record. You know, it's my 6th album, and I've wanted to make this album right away. I cut my teeth on that music, and now I'm getting to finally do it after I've given what everybody wants along the way. And
Sure.
But a lot of that is me, too.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Now, of course, this is Hoagie Carmichael, Mercer, and Gershwin, and Cole Porter, some of the greats, and some not so well-known greats, but I'm so proud of it. And it just recently outsold Tony Bennett's album. But
Wow.
But by the way, that sounds like a sniper from the side comment. Tony Bennett doesn't have nothing to prove.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just saying that was a Tuesday for him. Right, that kind of album.
Who produced the album?
My label is Concord, and my producer is Steve Tyrell, the great Steve Tyrell.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, he's my guy.
Wow. And he did all the arrangements?
Well, Alan Broadbent, a New Zealand arranger and orchestrator, did a lot of them. And actually, I'm a Fool to Want You was nominated for a Grammy because of Alan Broadbent.
Wow.
Because of Alan Broadbent's work, his orchestration, which is a song I fought for, that Frank Sinatra wrote about his breakup with Ava Gardner. He sang it, he wrote it and sang it, performed it once and never did it again. And when I heard it, I went, that's my song.
Yeah.
And that's how it came on the album.
Now, I'm sure it was really difficult choosing the songs that you wanted to put on the album. Did you record any that didn't make it onto the final product?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I first came to the meeting with 150 songs, and they said, you're going to have to cut it down. I came back with 15.
You came back with 15.
15. And they were like, no. You know what's funny is I'm embarrassed that I can't recall, because I've been doing so many of the ones that are on there that I can't recall which ones.
Yeah.
My new favorite, though, one that I didn't see coming, that I love, and I love to do it live, is I Get Along Without You Very Well.
Oh, I love that.
I didn't know that song. I'm embarrassed to say.
Do you learn songs easily?
If they speak to me. It's interesting. If they speak to me, it feels like, if they don't, if there's a hiccup, I have trouble learning it.
Yeah, yeah. We're going to go to break. We've got Kristin Chenoweth with us, and I cannot wait to talk about more. We'll be right back. Michelle loves those Boll & Branch sheets because they are fabulous.
Do you know that 3 U.S. presidents sleep on Boll & Branch sheets?
I'm not even going to ask which ones, but I know it's the ones that we
It's the
like.
good ones.
Okay. I'll buy that.
Listen, we're never going to agree on everything, but I think we could agree that we can all use more sleep.
Yes.
And getting a great night's sleep is easier and more affordable than you think. You don't need a new expensive mattress or sleeping pills. You could just change your sheets. That's why you should check out Boll & Branch. Everything they make, and guys, this is so important to me, from bedding to blankets, everything is made from 100% pure organic cotton, which means they start out super soft and they get softer over time.
Yeah. In fact, they're so inexpensive, you should get several sets of sheets. Treat yourself to a great night's sleep on the best sheets money can buy.
To get started right now, our listeners can get $50 off your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com, promo code RU. Go to bollandbranch.com today for $50 off your first set of sheets. That's Boll, B-O-L-L, and branch.com, promo code RU.
Blue Apron is the new way to eat food. It is fresh. It is fabulous. I know, Michelle, you cook. It's amazing to me that you've turned into a gourmet chef with Blue Apron.
I mean, I'm a mother.
Uh-huh.
My kids will come down every night and go, what's for dinner? And I go, reservations. No, I actually say Blue Apron. And here's the best part about Blue Apron. I have the app, but you can also look on the computer, on the website. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, my kids, Lola especially, Lily will eat kind of anything. She'll come down and she'll pick out what to put in the box for the week. So this week, we've got the 3-cheese pizza with creamy tomato sauce and romaine salad. And the other choice was the Baja-style tilapia tacos with orange and cheesy sweet potatoes.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, so they get to choose whatever they want, and that's what's so fantastic about them, because it's the kids speaking up. Now, listen, you guys, a lot of people go, oh, but I'm not a cook. You don't have to know how to cook with Blue Apron. They deliver the box. Everything's in it. All you need is some oil, salt and pepper, a pan, and they tell you what to do step by step. By the way, with a giant picture card.
Okay.
So it's so easy for you to do. And Blue Apron is teaming up with Whole30 to bring you delicious recipes. Their menu is going to feature 2 Whole30 approved recipes every week, like Mexican spiced barramundi with avocado, kale and sweet potato salad. So if you guys are doing the Whole30 plan, Blue Apron is the way for you to go. They're flexible. You can customize your recipes. Like I said, it's the best way to do it. Get $30 off your first meal. Become a chef like me. Free shipping. Go to blueapron.com/Ru. That's blueapron.com/RU. Blue Apron saved my life. It's a better way to cook.
We are back with Kristin Chenoweth. Oh my goodness, Broadway royalty. You know, Michelle knows this. Our listeners know this. I came out about a year ago as a theater queen. I never wanted to admit it. I see all the shows, see them all.
We know.
And the thing is this, and our listeners know this, there's a preciousness to the Broadway community and just theater people in general. And I've always been part of the, you know, was there any part in your sort of orientation in coming to New York where you thought, oh my God, these people, how am I ever going to fit in with them, because they feel there's a preciousnness surrounding it?
That's such a good word for it. And sometimes we can, this might not be the best phrase, shoot ourselves in the foot. You know, we shouldn't even do that with each other. But there's a preciousness that can go good and preciousness that can go bad. You know what I'm talking about? And we're guilty of both. I think, you know, I did wonder if I would fit in. I'm 4'11". I sound like Betty Boop. I didn't think I could. But then when I opened my mouth to sing, I felt accepted.
Yeah.
But that was kind of a theme in my life, too. People don't always take you seriously. To be honest with you, I'm not crying, oh, poor me. I'm just saying, when you're little and petite, and you sound like this, and you're from the South, people go, oh, dumb, or, you know, whatever. It was always the voice. And when I got to Broadway, I thought, I'm amongst my people. But even there, I had to prove it. Yeah. But once you get the proof, honestly, I think we all, even the people that we don't necessarily love to death, we take bullets for.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that as we're talking, I'm thinking that your next Broadway role is Tammy Faye Baker, the Broadway musical.
I'm so glad you brought it up, because I wanted to talk to you about it anyway. It is something I'm developing. And, you know, I know that you knew her very well, and I know that you narrated the documentary, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. And I want to honor her because I think she was the first of a very special type of woman. Yep. And it's easy to make fun of her, but and like Dolly says, no one's laughing because I'm laughing first.
Right.
And Tammy Faye understood who she was, and she loved everybody. And I want to pay homage to her. Now's the time.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So brilliant. And actually, I get choked up when I think about her, because she is really an ascended master. You know, she's like a Pollyanna, who people think of Pollyanna as someone who's blind to the truth of what's happening. The truth is she's very aware of the darkness, but she chooses to see the light. In fact, I tell this story. She came to me in a dream a couple of years ago, and she said, Ru, focus on I get choked up when I say
Oh, please talk about it.
She said, Ru, focus on people's innocence, not their guilt. And I have never forgotten that, and that's who she was. That's who she was.
But that's true. For her to come to you in a dream to say that, that's going to stick with you.
But don't you think, honestly, your message, and the message of even this show, is, you know, even when you say sashay away, like Tammy Faye would have loved the positivity. She did make a choice. And even those that loved her, that she thought mistakenly loved her the most, took her down. Yeah. And I don't think, you know, I sat and watched my grandma give a lot of money. And my dad would walk through the living room and say, Mom, why are you giving all your money? And she would say, I just don't know. I just believe her. And I believed her too. And I believe her to this day when people say, but wasn't she a swindler? No, I can't speak to Jim. I can only talk about the heart that I think I know of Tammy Faye. Yeah. And to see you talk about her, I just feel like it's my duty almost. It's weird.
Yeah, no, but trust that. Follow that. That is your instinct. That is, you're absolutely right. You're perfect for the role. But oh my goodness. You know, there's footage of her on her last appearance on Larry King. And I think of that all the time because it is so beautiful. She had it to the very end. She died the next day, I believe.
Did she?
So.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
And Larry King asked her, Ru knows this, he said, where do you think you're going to go? Tammy, you still believe you're going to go home? And she goes, Larry, I know I'm going to heaven.
Yeah.
And I will see you there. Something
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
thought, that's the message. That's who she was. And she was a tiny little frail thing dying.
Yes, she was.
In front of our eyes.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, gosh.
She fought it all the way to the end, though.
She sure did. And I'm so happy to hear you recall her. It means
How are you developing this? How do you develop a story like that? What do you have writers that you work
What
with?
producers? What do you do?
Well, I have a producer named Mark Platt who produced Wicked, and this will excite you.
This is the father of Ben and Jonah.
Yes, who I saw Ben grow up.
Oh,
and
you're the father? Really?
Ben
Yes.
Platt from Tony winning
I saw him.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Yes, I saw him do Charlie Brown when he was 8,
No.
and I thought that kid's special. Skip to the other night when he wins the Tony.
Yeah.
And there's Mark and
deserved.
Julie in the thing, and I'm watching the dad watch his son, and I was in the middle, and I just couldn't be more proud.
Yeah.
Probably. But I've come to him to help me produce it. And actually, Henry Krieger, who wrote Dreamgirls and Sideshow, he's done the music.
Oh,
And
my goodness.
He came to me first. It was his idea.
Oh, my goodness.
So we're further along than we know. This is so exciting.
It really, really,
Thank
really
you for
is.
reaffirming it.
Yes.
Oh,
nobody
it's
else
right.
could do it.
No
This
one
is
else could
you.
do it. It is so right.
Yeah, this is you, Casey.
It is so right.
Thank you.
And I don't wait. Now, how? What's the timeline for this? Do you know? Is it looking for backers?
Ruth's
Is that
very
how it works?
excited.
What we're looking for, I think what we need right now, I'm very much about the book. Because we can sing all day, and there's 1,000 people who can sing beautifully, right? But if there's no I want the story to be right, and I want to really do her justice. And there's a lot of humor in Tammy Faye.
Yes, yes.
So I'm wanting to make sure that that is there, so that the moments of her saying, stripping down, and saying, "Can you hear me? I know you're there, God, but but I just need to hear you." That's the moment. That's the payoff.
Right.
And I've got to earn it. So right now, we are getting a new book writer and working on the script. And it might be a moment in time. It might be from heaven. It might be part both, without giving away too much. But the music, forget about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was an amazing.
Yes.
How about all of her albums?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
did live for many hours at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a major. How about when she goes back? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to turn. When she goes back in time and go back to get on TV again, and I can't remember the network, and it doesn't matter because he was kind to meet her. But she said, "Well, I have these ideas." I really talked to the kids, and I thought, "Well, that's a really good idea." It's a little too soon right then. She did it, but she's so ahead. She was very ahead of her time.
She was a force.
Yeah, absolutely, and just lovely. And I respond to kindness, and I respond to people who have the ability to be kind in the face of such adversity. I mean, she really had her world turned upside down in a way that most people never have to experience, and then she turned it into something that could work for her.
I know.
She
Remember when
totally changed.
She told, and I hope people watched her as an example. And remember when she had the first ever man with AIDS on her talk show,
right, yes.
which was not cool then.
Right.
You didn't even touch anyone that had AIDS. And she said, we as Christians should all be not just accepting, but embracing. And she was crying, and I thought, that's a true, whether you're a Christian or not, that's a true epitome of what Christians are supposed to be.
Yes.
And that's the thing I want to also say. People like Dolly, people like Tammy Faye have also, being a Christian person, and I've not always been perfect. I mean, there's lots of lists I can tell you where I lost my temper there, I went bananas there.
Yeah.
But basically, I've had great parents, but I've also tried to lead with kindness, even when I was faced with some people or somebody that I didn't understand why they were mean. But then I always go back to Tammy Faye and Dolly, and Tammy Faye said, God doesn't make junk. And I thought, he doesn't really. I mean, it's what we do with our lives.
Right.
We could make ourselves junk.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Here
no,
I
I got it. I got it 100%. That's absolutely beautiful. Now, a lot of young people listen to our show, and they want to know what they should do if they have the urge, or if they think they're talented. You go to New York. What do you do first? What do you tell young people?
This is what I tell them. It's really very easy from my view. Train. When you feel ready, go for it. But if you think you can do anything else in this life and be happy, then you should go do that thing. Because this business is not for the faint of heart, right?
No.
It's not. But if you can't see yourself doing anything else and being happy, go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Go for it.
The training's important. Though.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Because that's part of the dues paying.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
You know?
part of the dues
It
paying.
is.
And also, it prepares you for any number of things that come up. You know, you might have an idea that, I want to be on Broadway, but if an opportunity comes up where you're, say, a QVC host, or if you are, on television or you're doing something, you have to be prepared to do a lot of different
Pretty much
things.
anything.
Yeah.
And be willing to step outside your box. You talk about it on your show. So do you. Fashion, even in fashion and how you're viewed.
Sure.
I never would have thought I would be on TV or in a movie.
Yeah.
Remember, I just was like, I'm going to be a singer.
Yeah.
So, just goes to show you.
Yeah.
I want to talk about GCB really quickly. Okay. I know it only lasted one season.
I'm devastated still.
Kristin.
I know, right?
Did you?
Yes, I saw.
It
yes.
literally was the most fun, camp, twisted show.
Good Christian bitches.
Right,
That's
which was
right.
changed to Good Christian Bells.
Which I thought was our first mistake.
Yeah.
But Bobby Harling wrote it. So that says everything.
It was just so
Wasn't
good.
it? I thank you for saying that.
No,
I'm
it's
so proud
true.
of GCB.
Oh my God, it was so good. It was devastating when it ended. Do you think that the title had a lot to do with that? Because the scandal already happened before it came out.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Changing the title. I was like so pissed off
Yeah.
that they changed the title.
I'll tell you, I was in Nashville recording a country album at the time. When I found out the title, I read it and I know when to do it. I said, you got to change the title though.
Yeah.
Because you can't have Christian and bitch in the same. You can't. Then they went to the nondescript GCB.
Yeah.
And I thought that was not the best decision. I'm just being honest here in this podcast. No one. I said we can.
Why couldn't you have Christian and bitch in the same? Because you knew it would piss off a bunch of people?
I didn't want to alienate a certain
got
audience
it.
that also accepted Desperate Housewives that were also Christians. So you can have Desperate Housewives, which I loved, but everybody's sleeping with everybody's husband and does
Sure.
everything else. But if you base it,
But was
And
it
you
bad that I
say-
wanted to see it? Because before I even knew who was in it, I read that it was called Good Christian Bitches, and I wanted to see it because of that.
no, of course. But
Yeah.
it should have been, then it should have been said the title, kept that title, and of course now we go to Netflix, right?
Right, exactly.
But it was ABC. And I'm thankful to ABC,
Reunion.
but yeah, right.
Right.
But I think a title can affect you. I'm just being
Sure.
honest.
Where was the town that y'all used to go? Suarez? What was it?
Suarez, Mexico.
Yeah.
Cleavage. My favorite line I got to say all the time because I had Dior and boobs and big hair and it was a dream. Every night I'd go to bed and I was like, tomorrow's Prada. I mean, it was all about what I could wear. But I said, as Carly Cockburn, my favorite line was, cleavage helps your cross hang straight. Yeah. And I think that's a good ending.
Yes!
And I still stand by that, by the way.
And if anybody can find it, even though it's one season, watch it. It's so worth it.
It's so
Thank
worth
you.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle.
Now, I know you're good friends with Carol Burnett. What's it like meeting these people that you've idolized? All these. When was the first time you met Carol Burnett?
She came to see a concert of mine at the Hollywood Bowl many years ago, and she came. I heard Carol Burnett's here, and I thought, oh no, prepare. And I can't remember exactly what happened, but I know that when I opened up the door, there was Carol. And how do you trip on yourself?
Yeah.
I can't remember what caused it, but I fell. And I think
Like
it's,
physically?
Yes, and I think I was walking, and I think my heel got caught in my hem, and I said, "This isn't how I wanted this to go." And she said, "It couldn't be more perfect." I was with her 2 nights ago. She knows I'm coming on the show, and she obviously said, "Well, I should do that show."
I wish she would.
Just
I
saying.
wish she would.
Well-
Now, was your home one that played the Carol Burnett show in the house?
My father was obsessed,
Yeah.
and so I grew up watching, what used to be TV Land. Now it's all original, a lot of original,
Sure,
but it was
yeah.
I Love Lucy and Carol Burnett, and I think she was a big influence on me comedically. But also, let's not forget, she was a
Mm-hmm. Great
Broadway
singer.
performer.
Yeah, and a Broadway performer. Exactly.
And her best friends have been people I've admired too.
Beverly
Look who was on her show.
Seals and-
Exactly.
yeah.
And Julie,
Julie
her
Andrews.
biggest chum,
Yeah.
And that's
Amazing.
another queen. of
Oh,
mine.
yes.
The Hills Are Alive.
Oh, my goodness.
Once Upon a Mattress is one of the best.
yes.
I know. Hey, Nani. I'm sorry.
Hey, Nani, is it you? See, all we do is sing, me and Michelle.
So, but when you're with an idol like that, how do you then become like relaxed and yourself? How do you then sort of settle into the real you?
And stop acting like a weirdo.
Yeah, exactly.
Xanax.
Yes, girl.
But you know what I had to do with both her and Julie, because they're both mentors of mine, is I had to calm down. And it took me about 3 or 4 times of being with them for me to start being not nervous.
Yeah.
And so and by the way, Julie's always like, I said, the hills are alive. I mean, every time I saw her for a long time,
Yeah.
I can't help it. And
Yeah.
she was like, not just that. There's so much more. And
Yeah,
once
yeah.
I go, she's right. And then it becomes a real friendship.
Yeah. Oh my
But
goodness.
she's right. There's so much more. So much more. Oh my God.
I mean, Victor, I mean, it goes
Oh
on and
my
on.
goodness. It goes on and
about
on.
her?
Oh, wow. It's just great. And you're a great example of someone who is projecting what you want to happen in your life and making it happen. Talk about being a good witch,
And
Talk
so
about-
nice. Like, you're not a
Thank
dick
you.
at all. There's nothing douchey about you. Like, you're always sweet.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I mean, I have my moments, but for sure, again, leading with kindness and also looking at things from a different way and going, oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not perfect, but life's too short.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
I mean, just do you.
Yeah.
Be kind.
yes.
If you can.
Yeah.
I've had to have calm moments with both of you, just like we were talking about with Julie and Carol. Because remember, as a fan of the show and just your history and your DNA, who you are, I've had to, and what you've given the world too, I've had to just stop and say, be cool, Kristin, be cool. So thank you for allowing me to just talk amongst you and be here. I'm just so glad it finally got to happen.
Michelle, I started shaving my head probably when I was about 28, something like that.
That young.
That young. I knew I was good. I knew I was losing my hair.
Is that what started it?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
My father was also bald, and I thought, well, when I don't have it, I'm going to start shaving it. So
But
I
you
use
didn't
a lot
even
of
close
razors.
shave it. You shaved it.
Yeah, I shave it, and I shave my legs. I shave. I always use a razor, always do, and that's why Harry's is the new kid on the block.
Now, do you shave it every day?
Yes, every shower I take, I shave my face and my head.
Oh my God! Well, wait a minute. With your face, I thought you got the other
I
stuff.
do, but you know what? The electrolysis on my face, but
Yeah.
then my goatee, I kept that.
Right.
So, and of course, the goatee is all white, by the
so
way.
sexy, though.
Yeah,
So sexy. Not in a Colonel Sanders way.
but in a Billy Goat kind of a way. No, I shave it off, honey. I shave it off.
God. Well, a lot of people shave it off, baby. I shave other stuff off. And we've got New Year's resolutions. It's a new time. And another resolution, take better physical care of yourself.
Yeah.
Harry's products have won countless grooming awards, and they'll keep you looking and feeling great. And we know what you say. If you look great, you're going to feel great.
That's right.
So what do you love most about shaving with Harry's? Well, we'll tell you what we love. Rue shaves every day, and you see how smooth Rue's head is.
Yeah.
Closeness of the shave is everything. Because what's the point if you're going to shave and you're not getting down to the skin and the stubble still there?
Hello.
That's the whole point.
It's a waste of time if it doesn't happen.
I cannot stand that on my legs. No, seriously, on your armpits. Like, why do we keep going back and have to do it again? That means something's not right. Well, you don't have to worry about that with Harry's. Harry's is all about a great shave at a fair price, which is why over 3 million guys have switched to Harry's. And by the way, ladies too, because I'll use it on my legs. It's fantastic. Jeff and Andy, two ordinary guys who are fed up with getting charged an arm and a leg for razor blades. And let me tell you something. Razor blades cost a lot of money.
Did you say razor blades?
Razor blades cost a lot of money when you go to the stores to buy them.
Yes, honey, a lot of money. I usually go to the grocery store or even
I'll go to the Target.
Target or
And
the
there-
CVS.
If you notice, the razor blades
Razor blades
are behind they have a special lock system on them.
Yes.
Because they're so freaking expensive,
Yes.
people steal them.
Yeah.
Harry's do not mess with that. They stripped out the unnecessary features. You don't have to have the vibrating handle, the heated blades, 15 lubricating strips, all that stuff, and the unnecessary cost to deliver customers one perfect razor at an amazing price. Harry's is so confident you're going to love their blades. They're going to give you their trial shave set for free when you sign up at harrys.com/Rue. All you have to do is pay for shipping. So claim your free trial offer from Harry's today. $13 value for free when you sign up app. Just cover the shipping. Your free trial set includes a weighted ergonomic razor handle, 5 precision engineered blades with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel, and a travel blade cover, so you are set to go. So get your free trial to go right now. Harrys.com/Ru. That's Harrys.com/RU.
We are back with Kristin Chenoweth. As some of you might notice that we had a little bit of we had a long break in between our two segments.
Just a wee one.
Just a wee one. In between, Michelle got her this Tiffany necklace.
It ain't Tiffany, girl, but it's gold.
Oh, it's gold.
It's gold.
It's in a Tiffany box, no?
No, it's in a ghetto Tiffany, but it's a Giffany.
Oh. What does your necklace say?
It says Okie on it because I'm from Oklahoma and Michelle is from New Jersey, and we always, I call her New Jersey and she calls me Okie, and she got me the necklace.
Oh, that is lovely.
And I love it. I'll never take it off.
It's spelled out Okie, and it is fabulous.
Isn't it cute?
She always got a piece of jersey on her neck.
Yes.
That makes me happy.
Where do you get these, Michelle?
There's a, believe it or not, they come from Israel. There's a jewelry designer that, they're just 14 karat gold little nameplates.
Wow.
And I use them because they do them really quickly. And you don't have to wait forever. And
Oh, yeah, I just realized you gave me this necklace.
I did.
I'm wearing
Which
a
I love.
necklace that she gave me.
That one's Hebrew for unconditional love.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna make me cry.
But my love does come with conditions, actually.
Yeah, I know. I know them all.
I love
I'm
wearing
prepared.
the jewelry, but I am. When I met you, you were in a relationship. How, with your schedule, how are you able to maintain or even meet people?
Well, you know what? I don't do it very well because now it's over.
Well,
so that happens, and it's mainly schedule.
here, talking to the microphone.
Oh,
There you go.
I am not. For the first time in my
In your
career,
life.
I've been told.
Yeah.
Okay, and hello, I came out of the womb knowing how to do that, so I wasn't doing that. But I have decided that at this point in my life, the person also really has to be emotionally available, and if I'm willing to do that, and with this crazy schedule, and they're willing to do that, then it's a match.
That's
And
a
when it's
tall
not,
order, though.
You know
It
what?
is.
I don't know if it's possible.
It
Yeah.
is possible, and it is a tall order. But it's fate playing a little piece in this. Right place, right time will happen.
But also you got.
Yeah.
But it depends on what your definition of what that is. Women. I grew up with all women have this concept of that person has to be everything. Like, you go to the supermarket and there's meat in that department, and then there's fruit and vegetable. They even have a card section. They sell flowers here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you have a Starbucks? And in New York, you go to separate stores for all of those. Different shops. I think people cannot be all of those things at one time. You know what I mean?
For one person.
For one person.
I think you're right. I know I haven't been that for people.
Yeah.
I've tried to be, but you're right. And that's really good for me to hear today because, he couldn't be, everything, and I couldn't be everything. And also, the time was so limited that you have to build time. You have to have time.
How long were you guys together?
About 6 months.
Uh-huh.
But what I'm doing, and I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm proud of myself, but I'm getting better at, I used to stay too long at the fair.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm getting better at not doing that.
Right.
Good.
I've always thought about the concept of if you marry someone that every 7 years you have to re-up the contract. And if you don't, it's no hard feelings.
Oh,
What
Yes.
about, and I'm sure that's never worked before.
I was going to say easier said than done
Easier said-
because every 7 years you get deeper in and deeper in.
Right.
And it's never easy to just go, okay, well, this isn't working, so bye, especially when there's children involved
Right.
and all sorts of other things start happening.
Yeah.
So on paper, that's a great idea. But these are human emotions that can't handle that.
Well, in that regard, then relationships never end then. The form of a relationship will change, but it doesn't end.
That's true.
And you know what? I have to tell you too. I don't know how y'all feel, but the older I get, the little bit more mature I am with. I can be friends with that person. I loved him, so why wouldn't I? Unless he's a real jerk.
Right.
Right, like in high school, you'd want to hate that person, never
Right.
rip up the pictures,
Exactly.
never talk to him again.
And
Right,
your
unless-
friends can't talk to him either.
Right.
Yeah, unless you're dating like Ike Turner or something.
And
you
then,
know.
bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye, girl, bye.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So,
I'm gonna run across the freeway and get in to a hotel across the.
near a hospital.
Oh my God. That's true.
Please. Oh, please. If I poor guy, if ever tried to hit me, I come in low and I come in hard, so
Right.
it would be easy. But I know about me that I am not looking. I grew up in a Southern Baptist conservative town, and I was thinking my whole life I had to get married, have 2.5
Right.
kids,
Yeah.
white picket fence. The past few years, it's been a priority to find that partner. I don't need marriage to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. But I would like that person that has my back no matter what,
Aw.
and that I have theirs no matter. That's one thing I would like.
Right.
So I'll continue my search.
And
Yeah.
you will find him.
Yeah.
You will.
Thank you.
What changed though? What made you able to not seek out that thing that you were taught? What changed?
First of all, your past, people say don't bring your past into your relationships, but your past is informative to you about what you want and what you don't want. So that part of it's past. Part of it is about 6 years ago, I had a bad injury, and that changed my life and made me look at life differently and go, wow, life is short. Yes, it's long. And, maybe we have one life that we remember, unless we're, Shirley MacLaine, then we have many lives, or whatever people believe. But in this life, I would like to enjoy it. And I'd like to enjoy the fruits of my labor with somebody who enjoys it too, and I can enjoy theirs. So it's been 5 years of me trying to, and it's been kind of slow. I haven't been dating a lot. So learning, taking your past with you, not baggage, but just remembering what caused things in the past, and then learning from it, and then seeking it out. And I'm sure I'll date. It's hard to find the time to date when you're on the road.
Well, yeah, because the man that I met you with, was he in the business? Did you meet him through some business association?
Yeah, we were friends first, through friends. And he's a writer, and he's incredible gifted.
A music writer?
Just a regular
Script,
writer.
yeah.
Script writer, and he is so talented, and I love him to death. Like, I got not one bad thing to say. It's just, is it timing? I don't know, maybe. Maybe there's, there might be a place where in the future there's some things going on in his life that he needs to work out, and maybe in the future, but for now I have to move forward.
So I know you're on, how many days a year are you on the road?
Well, I gotta tell you, Rue, I was not ever really a touring girl. I was usually dropping an album and doing a TV show, which isn't the best way to support an album.
Right.
You and I both know that. But this tour was my second ever tour, and I did, would you say, probably 130 or 40 nights.
Was it on a bus?
On a plane.
On a plane.
Which I won't do again.
You won't do it again?
It kills your voice.
Kills my voice, and I have an inner ear problem, and it was flaring up all the time.
Huh.
And one time I had, in 40 days or something, I had 31 flights.
Oh my goodness.
God.
Oh my goodness.
No, bus is definitely the way to go.
Yes, I just was an idiot and didn't think that way. That's why the country music people do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it gives you time to recover to get to the next
do it,
place.
Kristen. We do it with the Queens.
I didn't know that. I thought y'all all flew.
No, we take a bus.
So when y'all came into New York, that show I saw, were y'all on your bus? And where had you come in from?
We came into New York, and then New York we drove to Boston. And it wasn't until we went to San Francisco or LA that we flew. But all in Europe, all bus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing it next time.
It's the best way.
Well, and then you just, like
You
you
sleep,
said, recovery.
Voice is
Right.
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I read in the trades that you are doing a musical version of one of my favorite movies, a movie that I will watch at least twice a year, sometimes 3 or 4 times a year.
We were watching it when we were filming.
That's right. We certainly were. We're talking about Death Becomes Her. You're turning it into a musical.
Yes, I am.
Now, have you done a version of a movie that was a musical before?
Never.
No, because how do theater people think of those things? Because they thought of, you have your jukebox musicals, and then you have the musicals that are turned in from a movie. What is the consensus of theater people with those shows? Is that like slumming it?
there is a feeling of when it first came out. There is a feeling when they first started doing it. I can remember when Legally Blonde came, and we were all eye rolling. And the truth is, it was a mediocre hit. I mean, it toured some, and it did a year or so on Broadway, and that's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
I remember recalling though that it's very tricky to do a famous,
Beloved,
quotable. Yeah. When I was going to do Young Frankenstein, and I ended up getting a TV show instead, and it was very hard for me to not do that with Mel Brooks because that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
So good.
So, well, you know.
Yeah.
The Genius Madeline Kahn, right?
Oh, yeah, Genius Madeline Kahn.
Yeah.
So, to say no to that, but I had a fear that there were so many lines like, "Penny for your thoughts."
Yes.
And
yes.
"He was my boyfriend."
Yes.
That people are waiting. They're waiting.
Yeah.
Now, I know, right? And even in Death Becomes Her. Now, a warning, But I promise you now, as I sit here, I am going to make sure that this is its own story. What we'll do is we're going to change it a little bit because it's a movie version of it.
Yeah.
There will be some trickery and magic involved with illusionists and famous people like that we know, so that the audience can actually see how these women de-age.
Okay.
So it'll be something new that Broadway hasn't seen, but it will be. I think the love story really is important, and it's between
the two women.
The two women.
Yes, right.
And I've done that kind of show before, and it's very touching. And now it's two women of a certain age, and it's interesting when all your dreams start. All the things that you've been manifesting, and I'm a big person believing in manifesting and thinking on it. There's the Eyes of Tammy Faye, which is David Yazbek, Henry Krieger, and Mark Platt producing. That seems to be coming together rather quickly, as does Death Becomes Her. Now, Death Becomes Her came to me through NBC Theatricals. It was their idea. And I said, how do you do, though? I was nervous. And then they told me how they wanted to kind of do it, and our director, who all of our staff will be named, our creative team will be named soon, but they all have been thinking about it for a while, and I met about it over a year or two ago.
Wow.
And I kept it quiet because I thought, I don't know if that's going to work, but with the way they lay it out, I think it's going to be. It could be if we do it right.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad you brought up the love story between these two women, because that's at its core is what this movie is about.
Right.
And having lived around women for years, there hasn't quite been a piece of material that really got in there deep and really dissected what that thing is that happens between women, the best of friends and the best of enemies at the exact same time. And I've seen it even in my own family, how do you approach something like that,
Well, it has these themes and that I talk about a lot that I think actually Wicked has. Michelle and I
yes,
talked about it
Wicked
too.
has it, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It has the theme of friendship, love, and mainly, which is the hardest one in real life, as we know, is forgiveness.
Yeah.
And Michelle and I have this crazy female bond, but we both have had experiences with women where we're just like, what? Because we're supposed to be women, right?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be together.
Sure.
But we are a member of the same species.
Right.
Yeah.
So, something tells me men get that too. So, of course, we're going to want to play on that a little bit because we want that in there.
Because in GCB, those themes were in there too.
All over.
Oh,
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
with Jesus.
Yeah.
Which I loved. I loved that show.
That show
we
was
did
great.
too.
And, I lived in the South for many years. And, that was a constant theme of how certain women would go, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And you could tell they were doing the sweet thing, but it was laced with
hates you.
so much horrible
Just
hate.
underneath.
Yes.
My mother one time, I just have to tell y'all, we'll so appreciate this. We go to church. There's two things that she did that made me howl. I was a little kid, and we in the car, and it was at Easter. That's Easter in Oklahoma. You dress up. And we were in the car, and she goes, did you see Becky wore slacks? Did you see Becky wore slacks? I said, no, I didn't. She goes, she had on slacks on Easter.
No!
So Bobby Harling heard that, and he said, we're putting that in the script. And another thing my mom did, Mom, I'm sorry I'm telling on you, but it's funny. And it became a storyline for Jennifer Aspin's character, the role of Sharon. Sharon, who battled her weight in the show.
Uh-huh.
And Carlene, of course, gave her food that she called
Made
low
her
cal,
big,
but made her fatter.
Yeah, we're talking about GCB here, yes.
Yes, GCB. And my mom, I said, oh, Bobby, reminds me of when my mom joined a diet at her church called Pray It Off. Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
Wait, didn't they incorporate that into
Yeah, it was called Losing It with Jesus.
Yeah! That was one of the things I remember.
So my mom joins this group, Pray It Off, and she struggles with her weight. And so after I said, well, Mom, what are y'all going to do? Oh, dear Lord, don't let this Dorito taste good. You know, Jesus, take the wheel and the cinnamon roll and the bun. But she said, no, we look at the Bible and the loaven breads and the grains and we pray and I said, okay. I'm thinking roll eye. And so a few days later, I don't know, 2 weeks later, I said, well, how did it go? And she was, well, I've gained 15 pounds. And Bobby Harling heard that story and he goes, may I please? I said, you and
Oh my God, yes.
But it's true. I mean, people think like GCB, like, oh, could that be real? Losing It with Jesus was real.
Yes.
my
It could be real.
Goodness.
I'm most
I grew up in it.
upset about that show not coming back, probably more than any other show.
Yes.
Thank you.
I was upset about Smash going away. There's a
Yeah.
lot of shows I was upset about.
Yeah.
GCB is one that I'm really upset.
It's
that never came back.
are they all available for download?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
13 of them.
Oh, it's
All right,
so
all right.
good.
We're going to take a real quick break. We've got Kristin Chenoweth. We're going to talk some more.
Oh my God.
Michelle, girl, I know you love your Bowl and Branch sheets, you know.
I didn't know I needed them before I got them.
Yeah, and now you can't live without them.
Now I can't live without them.
Well, you deserve to sleep on something that is brilliant and that treats you like the queen that you are, honey.
Oh, go on and say it. Go on and say it louder for the people in the back.
You a queen.
Okay, everything Bowl and Branch makes, from bedding to blankets, is made from 100% pure organic cotton. You guys might not think that's a big deal, but when you're putting your skin on it, the biggest organ in your body is your skin. You're putting your body on it, your face on it, whatever it is, you want to know that it's organic and not filled with chemicals.
Yeah, absolutely.
They start out super soft, and you guys, they get softer over time. They are so amazing. You can buy directly from them, so you're essentially paying wholesale prices. Like luxury sheets can cost up to $1,000 in the store, but Bowl and Branch sheets are only a couple $100. Get you started right now. Right now, our listeners can get $50. I'm not kidding. Get your phone right now, or get your computer right now. I don't know what you're using, your phone, your computer, your laptop, your iPad. Get you started right now. Listeners get $50 off our first set of sheets at bowlandbranch.com, promo code RU. Bowlandbranch.com today for $50 off your first set of sheets. That's bowl, BOLL, and branch.com, promo code RU. Bowlandbranch.com, promo code RU.
We are back with Kristin Chenoweth. We were talking about GCB. You know what that stands
Good Christian bitches that got switched to Good Christian Bells, which was so stupid.
I agree. It should not have. It should have been committed to the title.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
That was ridiculous that they caved.
I
now,
agree.
we were talking about Death Becomes Her and how the people at NBC Productions came to you to develop this musical for Broadway. How often do people come to you with ideas? Because, you know, you are the go-to girl for Broadway. And then you have been for 10 years.
Long time. You're
Long
magical.
time. How do you deal with all these people who have all these ideas for you?
I think there's a lot of good ideas out there. The thing I have to pay attention to and understand, and you guys both know this, being a part of show business, things don't just happen, okay?
Right.
The shows don't just happen. All of the little
Interstitials.
thank you, that you guys work at, you work at them. When I was, working with y'all before, I watch, I learn. When you go on the Christmas show, things don't just happen.
Right.
And you can tell when somebody's trying to get away with something that they didn't have time to do, and somebody that does. And we have it in my business.
Yeah.
So how are you going to achieve and conquer the idea to make it a reality? I have 1,000 great ideas, but I have to get the right writer, the right composers, which is one of the things we're doing right now with Death Becomes Her is the right composers, and handle it with the best care that I can. And with Tammy Faye, for example, we've had a couple scripts, and they weren't right. And I'm not going to do it unless it's right. So what I have to do, and it's very hard for me because I just want to create, is stay strong on my original idea, and with Henry and with David, and that's the hardest thing I have to do because I just want to do it now.
Yeah.
Musical version?
Yeah, what it would be like is an intimate evening with Tammy Faye.
Oh my God, brilliant. Brilliant.
I
It's
love
like
that.
Tammy Faye's back and doing a one-woman show.
Okay, that's it. You just pitched the idea.
Yeah.
Death Becomes Her's a big Broadway musical, and then you have this intimate.
Sure. I love that.
Oh my
that's,
God, I
that's
love
fabulous. And so now, what if they intersect at the same time? I mean, what do you do if both projects come to fruition at the exact same time?
Well, right now, it's a race.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to get it done first?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, and you guys I would love for you to weigh in on your opinion here. Tammy Faye has a way about her, just like Dolly and certain other people I think that we know and love, that just are ageless. They're classic. They don't age.
Right.
So I am less concerned about aging out there.
Yeah.
But I feel like the time for Tammy Faye is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a strong woman who lived in a time and was submissive to her husband, but yet wanted to spread the love of the Lord, and yet wanted to have a good life and wanted to be a great example, and had an addiction. I think a lot of women could really understand her. I think it's now. So I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see who gets it done. See, that's what I have to do is I think Death Becomes Her will be a year or two away, because it's going to be a big deal.
Well, listen, the thing is, the thing about the Tammy Faye thing is that you could actually do a cast album of it first. You could do it as a Netflix movie first, an evening. You could do it that way and then take it out later, because that show is a show that you'll be doing for the rest of your life.
I was going to say, and also, Kristin, nobody else could play her.
That's right.
Honestly, they can audition for the next year.
Yeah.
Nobody else was meant to play her apart from you. So it doesn't matter.
Thank you.
What matters is it's right.
It's right. And so that's what I care the most about. And I do think that even if I did the album and then I opened Death Becomes Her and then I went on the road with
with Tammy Faye. Yeah, and you're right. Tammy Faye is timely now because, and we said this a little earlier in this very same show, that she is really a modern day ascended master, because this is someone who has talk about unconditional love.
Right.
She is the embodiment of that, and that, like I said before, she was aware of what was going on, but she felt that it was more important to focus on what the good that was happening, rather than focus on the negativity.
And that was a conscious choice.
It was a conscious choice, and that is where the power is. That is where she became an ascended master, right there.
I agree with everything that you're saying, Ru.
It's brilliant. And that's a lesson for each of us out there in the world, because we have a choice in every situation. You can take the high road, the low road, or
no road.
Or no road. So all these people come to you with these ideas. The tour is done. What do you do in your sort of quiet time? Obviously you are working. You're still working on things, and you're developing things, but you still have. Do you drive to your own house? Do you live here in LA?
I live here in LA, and I live in New York. But for this next month, I get to be here, so I'm so happy.
Do you drive around LA?
I do, and I like to walk. Except when you walk in LA, and I live in this area. Yeah. People stop. There's lots of paparazzi around in this neighborhood. Yes. And so I try to look very. Not like myself, but what gives me away is my voice.
Yes.
And so once they know, it's never when I look cute. It's homeless chic when I'm out. And it happened to me yesterday. And so, but I like to walk. And people, I can remember just walking in my neighborhood away from the shopping area. Yeah. And people stop and they're like, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" Because in New York, we walk.
Yeah, exactly. Sure.
People here, if you walk, they're like, "Is your car broke down?
Yeah.
Did you hurt your leg?" Yeah. I'm like, "No, I'm just walking."
Well, you're absolutely right. I'll see a show in Midtown. I'll walk home from there because we want to digest the show. So we'll walk home from Midtown to the West Village.
Walk and talk.
Yeah. You know what? A secret for the paparazzi thing, I'm going to tell you this.
What?
Is one of those disposable surgical masks.
Oh, I have those for flying. Really?
Yeah. A disposable surgical mask.
They don't like having pictures with them?
Well, no, they won't recognize you.
Okay, let me just stop right here.
Okay.
Because I am between somebody who's 6'4", gay man who's always wearing the most incredible suits, and I am with a 4'11" little diminutive diva. There is no masquerading either one of you. I can get away with it.
I went to the Castro Theater to see that show, Romy and Michelle, with Katya and Trixie. And I wore a tracksuit, a skull cap, and a surgical mask. And now everyone wears surgical masks.
A tracksuit, a skull cap, and a mask.
Yep.
Okay, that is a lot more than
this
just
is
a mask.
at the Castro Theater in the center of gay America. You can't get more gay than this.
You just
neighborhood.
looked insane.
And no one
They didn't?
stopped. No one saw me.
No.
They didn't.
Really?
They did not see. And I wanted to see the show, and I was with George, and
And they didn't recognize George?
no, oh, it's some
See, that's what
Polo
happens.
de Papa. She recognized him, and she said, "Oh, let me usher you guys in."
Oh.
She recognized him,
George, yeah.
But yeah,
Only the savvy ones
surgical
would-
mask.
yeah, got it.
Surgical
Well,
mask.
I find okay. So Seth, get on that.
Get
Yeah.
more surgical masks.
And
Yeah.
and also if I'm quiet.
Yes, no, I
You
won't.
can't
I
talk.
won't talk. I won't
and
talk.
you can't talk either.
Yeah.
No, you can't. Our
people.
voices.
Yeah,
And you can't talk either.
Yeah.
Your voice is distinctive.
it is.
My laugh is just, I can't laugh.
Your voice is distinctive, Michelle.
You think so?
Yes,
Thank
of
you,
course it
Rue.
is.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I got to see the Christmas show in New
She
York.
got to see our Christmas Queens show. She came in New York.
Oh, right. Yeah. Where was it? At the Gramercy Theater?
Where was it?
It was at Stage
Thank you.
48.
Stage 48.
And it was, we had the best time. And this girl right here, I'm just going to say this, and she knows how, this is coming. I'm going to say it into the microphone. I say to her all the time, you need to sing.
Yeah.
Don't forget
She's so
who
sweet.
you are.
Yep.
Good
And
to
she
me.
sang that night at, was it a Holy? It was
Silent Night, yeah.
And it was gorgeous. I mean, it was gorgeous. You could have heard a pin drop here,
Yeah.
and here we are. And she's singing about, Christ our Savior's birth. For those of us who celebrate Christmas, that was a beautiful moment. Here I am in this drag queen show, and there's just the Lord and beautiful singing and men and women just with their cameras up. And it was beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
And all the girls did great. They were awesome.
And I
Oh,
got
my
to look up and
goodness.
see Kristen there next to Todrick. And it was just really sweet
And
to have my
Todrick, who I
friends
love. And I
there.
cried like a big dork because I just am.
Good. Good. We are not afraid of emotions here. We applaud emotions here. Absolutely. So you were in. So you're have a little. When I say downtime, for people who don't understand, it means that you're not on stage right now, and you're not in an airport. You're here. You're developing your next project
Yes.
right now. So you get to watch your favorite shows.
Yes.
You get to go to your favorite classes at the gym and yoga and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
When you have that little downtime, do you prefer it in LA or in New York?
It's changed. I used to prefer it in New York, but in the months of January and February, I prefer LA because,
Yes.
as you know, Elsa from Frozen has gotten really pissed. And she's cold. It's cold there. Now, I just tried out Pilates yesterday. Now, this is just
For the first time?
Yes, I have never had time to do. Yesterday,
Yeah.
I went. I love it. I think it'll be good for me. I love to bedazzle.
Okay.
In fact, I bedazzled in this
That's
Oklahoma.
gorgeous.
Thank you.
That is. What does that say on there?
Oklahoma City Thunder. to
Oh,
my
that's
basketball team.
beautiful.
I do it very intricate work.
Yeah.
And I love to do that. I love to read. I'm a big reader.
Uh-huh.
I love to watch my TV shows.
Which ones?
No judgment, right?
No
Okay.
judgment.
Okay.
No.
Judgment free zone.
Any housewife.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Any housewife.
Yeah.
Because I like to just watch. It makes me feel better about my life.
Uh-huh. The thing I can't take with, I've said this before, the thing I can't take with the housewives is that when they walk into a restaurant, they go, "Oh, hi!" that fake up
It's the
higher-
southern version of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Do you
can't
watch the
take
Texas
that.
one too?
It's a little close to home, but yeah, I got on
Yeah.
board. I also like Below Deck. I like Flipping Out.
Oh, so okay.
$1 Million Listing.
Oh
but
my God, you watch
You're
Below
all
Deck?
on all Bravo TV.
yes,
Yeah.
but I also like Netflix. I'm like everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm currently right now on my kick. I love Veep. That's why it was cool.
Oh my
to
God.
watch
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
I'm season 4. I'm binging it now.
Are you talking about which one?
I just finished the one.
A Veep?
Yeah, Veep.
Oh, it's so wrong. It's right.
It's
Yep.
the most
Yep.
brilliantly written show I've
Thank
seen.
you. I don't understand. I mean, obviously it's a hit. There's
Brilliant.
nothing to understand. It's
Yes,
amazing.
yes.
I'm watching Black Mirror right
Oh,
now.
me
Oh
too.
yeah. Which where are you in? You've seen the
Third
I'm on season
episode.
2.
Third episode.
Final. Final
you're on
Oh,
season
San
4.
Junipero? You're on San Junipero? The
San
one with
Junipero
the lesbian couple who go back in time in the 80s?
No, don't tell me. Don't
the
tell me
one
more. That's the one that
before
won the Emmys.
where she starts.
No.
Oh, you mean the
The
my
mother, the one that the side of the road, they have an accident.
That's season 4.
Oh, that's one of the new ones. That's the Archangel one?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's
And
season 4.
Jodie Foster's
Yeah,
going to be directing
right.
the new one.
Archangel. She directed.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's-
I'm going to see. I saw the first one of this new
La, la,
fourth
la, la,
episode.
la, la,
yeah,
la, la.
yeah. I love it.
I'm on
I
season
love
2, y'all.
it.
Love it too.
It's so good.
I know. You think, how they think of this?
Well, but also
It's
it
the new
speaks.
Twilight
Well,
Zone.
it speaks so much to where we are today.
It's reflective of society
Yeah.
and the future.
Thank
Set in a
you.
Twilight Zone manner.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
And now they can put these things in there. Think about it. There's an episode where they put a thing in your
Yeah,
temple
yeah, yeah.
and they can
Yes.
recall your memory.
it's
Yes.
brilliant. It's brilliant.
Oh, it's
I love it.
good.
And you get to have your nails done. Now, tell me, what's the name of this color again?
Nearly nude.
And that's a classic color.
Yes,
Who
it
makes it? Is it Revlon?
Well, I do gel, so it's shellac.
Yeah.
Um,
Because we've
Yeah,
heard of
yeah,
nearly
yeah.
nude for years. Who makes
I
it?
think every company, SE has a nearly, like,
Okay.
OPI.
they stole.
Yeah.
Glaze.
They have stolen.
Oh, because it's fleshy, it's perfect, it lengthens the hands. That's the color I wore when I had acrylics the last
Yep.
time I had it. But
Nude
now
goes with everything.
now I don't wear acrylics anymore. They stick on the fake ones
Yes.
that are so good. With the sticky, they have
tape.
this tape that is so sticky, they don't come off.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Because
true.
I
Yes.
need those.
It's brilliant.
Why?
Because when I have the acrylics,
Then I can play the piano when I need
I
to.
feel claustrophobic when I have acrylics on. I feel like something's on my hand.
Like you have tree trunk hands.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
I
I
can't
know.
do anything without them.
Right.
So I'm
right.
on the
Well, you've
opposite.
had them since you were 13.
Since I was 19. Close.
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey. Yeah, I can't.
Do you wear them all the time?
I wore them this year on tour because I just thought it looked so much
It does
better.
gorgeous.
Them on for a while.
For about a year.
Yeah.
But then I got these for Hairspray Live. This is
Right.
what, and
Mm-hmm.
that was Thanksgiving last year.
Right.
I'm getting ready to start working on my next album, and I need to
Get in there.
You can play with nails.
Yeah, but I have some gigs. Like I have a mini tour with Andrea Bocelli in February, and I'd like to have these nails.
Yeah, well, you could, yeah,
That's why the ones with the glue, maybe.
Yeah, but the problem with taking them off is that your nails are wrecked in the interim.
You mean
know?
acrylics?
Like taking the acrylics
Yes.
off. Yeah, that's the only problem. And it takes time for
You
them
gotta
to
let 'em
heal.
heal.
So you might, if you got this tour coming up,
Leave them
you might
on
wanna
until the
keep 'em
after
on.
the tour.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
mid-Feb.
Yeah.
Mid-Feb.
Yeah.
Mid-Feb.
And you know what else I'm going to steal from y'all?
Huh.
You know how, and I mean, I don't know if it was you who invented it. Might have been. But the gloves with the nails.
Oh, I did not invent it. I've done it before.
I think
but,
the first person I've ever seen do that was Alaska.
Uh-huh.
But I'm sure Queens have been doing it for 100
No, he's been doing
years.
it for hundreds
There
of
I
you
didn't
years.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
I figured you invented it.
No, I've done it many times, years ago too. But all those tricks all the tricks that we do were invented really by the Hollywood studios from back in the day. Those people did all of the things you could ever imagine in those big musicals and all that stuff.
See, that's who I need to talk to.
Well, but it's some of that's a lost art. Like, God forbid when Bob Mackie goes, who on earth could possibly take his place? I've never seen
Stresses
anything
me
It
out.
will
come
never
close.
happen.
It will never happen.
Never.
The closest one is a Broadway person.
Yes.
He's got his own style, but I'm talking it's not Bob Mackie,
Right.
but his own style is William Ivy Long. That's
Yeah.
the closest.
Yeah.
The
To
problem
Mackie
is,
style.
yes,
Yeah.
but the problem is William Ivy Long is just all theater. Bob Mackie did
Right.
the Burnett show and everything else. Cher
Yeah, and
everything else.
it has we're going to close it up, but there was a nod to the Busby Berkeley musicals. It was everything. It was Technicolor. The proportions were perfect. Oh, that's right. You're in the Mitzi Gaynor special talking about that in the
Yes.
it's a Mitzi Gaynor special, but it's really a Bob Mackie special.
Hello, it should be. And I just did the Carol Burnett special, and he was there, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, if you gave me anything of you, he goes, just come to my warehouse, pick something out. I'm like,
Shut up.
I said, what did you say?
Because he still has all those costumes at
yeah.
the place, the Mitzi Gaynor ones, all of those things. And by the way, if you want to look at this thing, it's called Razzle Dazzle. It's it's a special based on Mitzi Gaynor's television specials. You got to see this. It's really a retrospective
It is.
of Bob Mackie's,
yeah.
the best of Bob Mackie,
Yeah.
God,
which
he's
is
genius,
fabulous.
genius.
Well, Kristin, you are such a dear heart, and we have nothing but love for you because you are love.
Thank you.
And everybody out there who's listening right now, put your hands on your listening device or your recorder, whatever you're listening on, and would just say a prayer for Kristin. She works so hard, and she does such a great job at entertaining everyone and spreading love. And I know you work so hard. We're going to send you lots of love energy through the radio. through the podcast.
Someday your
can already
prince
feel
will
it.
come.
Yes, and that's
right.
true.
Help me, Lord, recognize him.
That's right. Well, that's the key. You know,
It
a lot
is.
of times they show up, but most people can't recognize them
That's
because they're fixated on a certain picture. He's going to look like this. You know, it doesn't always come in the form that
Look
you
at Beauty
think.
and the Beast.
That's right. I'm telling you, I've made those same mistakes in my 20s, 30s,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
early 40s.
Yeah. Everybody does. So
Thank you. I love you. I
so
feel the love,
much.
and I love y'all back.
Well, thank you, darling. And Michelle, darling, I will see you next time.
You can't get rid of me if you tried. I'm
Well-
like herpes.
Thank you for that beautiful picture that we're going to go out on. Until next time, my dear.
Yes, bye.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
And don't forget to subscribe
an
on
amen?
iTunes.
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Amen.